These movies try to find the lighter side of alien invasions and futuristic technology.
Is this your party?
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sci-fi comedy movies.
All right, we'll use Pulsar level 5 with a subsonic implosion factor.
What? Just shoot the damn thing.
For this list, we're looking at the best films that feature strong elements of both science fiction and comedy. Apologies to fans of Back to the Future and Brazil, but we don't consider those straight-up comedies, though they do have their comedic moments.
How could you do this to me?
Jack, I'm frightened.
Oh, how do you think I'm feeling?
You may also be wondering where Ghostbusters is, but that one's not as much sci-fi as it is supernatural.
There it is, on the ceiling.
That's the one that got me.
Number 10, Weird Science.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
A movie that fulfilled the fantasies of legions of unpopular teenagers, Weird Science sees a duo of outcasts use their computer hacking skills and a stray Barbie doll to create a beautiful woman whose sole purpose is to boost their confidence.
If we're gonna have any kind of fun together, you guys had better loosen up.
And hopefully their popularity.
Hi.
Although director John Hughes was known for his quirky teen dramas, he plays for laughs here, and the sci-fi elements serve to make it a unique take on the era of zits and awkward kisses.
I wasn't expecting you to kiss me. I mean, I wasn't.
As a result, it became one of the most rewatchable teen comedies ever.
What's a beautiful bride like you doing with a malaka like this, huh?
It's purely sexual.
No shit.
She's into malakas, Dino.
Number 9, Attack the Block.
This is the block. Nobody with the block. Do you get me? The B-L-O-C-K.
What would happen if a meteorite carrying incredibly deadly alien creatures crash landed in the middle of a neighborhood in England? If Nick Frost were a resident of said neighborhood, hilarity would obviously ensue.
I don't know about that.
A group of young, self-styled gangsters arms themselves after it becomes clear that their lives are in danger and set out to defend the block they call home against these predatory extraterrestrials, with sci-fi elements and comedy gold showing up in equal measure.
Right now, I feel like going home, locking my door, and playing FIFA.
An instant cult classic, this attack is not one to be missed.
You know what? What? I'm shitting myself in it, but at the same time,
What?
this is sick.
Number 8, Paul.
Oh, who's knocking? Stop it.
What are you doing?
The second Nick Frost film from 2011 on our list.
Somehow I feel like we belong. I know what you mean.
Paul is the heartwarming tale of a ragtag group of comic book nerds and Christian fundamentalists who come together to protect a rough-around-the-edges alien from the authorities.
Everyone's bi on my planet. I mean, it's all about the pleasure thing.
Featuring some of the best comedic talents of the last decade, Paul had huge expectations to live up to and succeeded at every turn. Not only parodying the genre, but also paying homage to it, this sci-fi comedy is so full of references that if you laugh too hard, you might miss a few.
Jenny Starpepper and the Great Brass Hen?
No,
The Robot's Mistress?
I like romances.
That's kind of a romance.
Between a woman and a machine?
Yeah.
I hear that.
Number 7, Inner Space.
Good luck, Lieutenant.
Scientists developed the technology to shrink a ship to a size so small it can travel inside the body of any life form. As this is a comedy, you know things go awry. And the ship ends up inside the body of grocery store worker John Putter, played by Martin Short.
Jack.
What the hell is that?
The ship's presence causes disturbances in Putter's life that make people think he's lost his mind. Playing out a somewhat traditional sci-fi premise, Short's impeccable comedic timing and the unusual circumstances he's in allow for huge laughs.
I didn't know dancing could be so much fun.
You ought to try it with a girl sometime.
Number 6, The World's End.
What the hell is this? Why are we even here? We are here to get annihilated.
Nick Frost and Simon Pegg appear several times on this list for a reason. The duo specializes in the science fiction and fantasy comedy subgenre, and they clearly share an affinity for the subject matter. In the third film of their Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy, pesky aliens who think they know what's best for the human race spoil the reunion of 5 former best friends as they set off on a pub crawl 20 years after their estrangement. As you might expect, this means drunken shenanigans, drunken brawls, and, well, lots of drunkenness. Number 5, Men in Black.
Sir, you can't just...
Don't sir me, young man. You have no idea who you're dealing with.
A film based on a comic book series that dramatizes the real-life accounts of several supposed UFO witnesses who claim to have been questioned by men dressed in black suits. Men in Black's stars embody the concept of sci-fi humor.
Tap water.
All right, Beatrice. There was no alien. Flash of light you saw in the sky was not a UFO. Swamp gas from a weather balloon was trapped in a thermal pocket and refracted the light from Venus.
Will Smith's comedy chops are undeniable, and Tommy Lee Jones serves as the perfect science fiction mentor and straight man who shepherds our hero through a strange new world that happens to exist on Earth.
You didn't know. Well, it's an emergency. What? You doing fine, Ace?
With great effects and a great script, this blockbuster appealed to both sci-fi fans and newbies of the genre.
You need to ease up out my face for something bad happened to you. Too late.
Number 4, Sleeper.
Your brain will be electronically simplified.
My brain, it's my second favorite organ.
When most people think about science fiction, Woody Allen is not a name that immediately jumps to mind. In this movie, Allen tells a story with the observational comedy style he's known for, but sets it 200 years in the future. Unlike many other sci-fi movies, which often feature awesome adventures or epic quests, Allen's Man Out of Time spends most of the movie commenting on the weird circumstances he finds himself in, or masquerading as a helper robot.
You got room in there for another head change?
Yeah, sure.
Paying tribute to sci-fi classics that preceded it, this flick is a tribute that cinephiles will get a kick out of.
I think we should have had sex, but there weren't enough people.
We'll use the Orgasmatron.
That's a good idea.
Come on.
Number 3, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He's Bill S. Preston Esquire, and he's Ted Theodore Logan. And together, they are the Wild Stallions.
Excellent!
Even though Bill and Ted may not be the brightest characters ever to hit the big screen, their endless joy and enthusiasm are infectious.
Excuse me, when did the Mongols rule China?
I don't know. I just work here.
George Carlin's Rufus takes these two high school metalheads on a journey across time to help them study for a history test, ensuring their graduation and the future of the world, which achieves peace in the future due to the music of the Wild Stallions.
Thank you, San Dimas Hall!
Most triumphant.
Oh, you beautiful babes from England, for whom we have traveled through time. Will you go to the prom with us in San Dimas? We will have a most triumphant time.
Number 2, Galaxy Quest.
Set it on Screensaver 2. I think we didn't get it.
This movie centers on the cast of a sci-fi television show that bears an uncanny resemblance to Star Trek that suddenly finds themselves thrust into a real-world conflict between two alien species.
Yes, what about my people? Yes, far too simple a death for them, isn't it?
Thrown into a world where the fiction they performed in is turned into a reality, the charm of early sci-fi's cheesy ideas about science is undeniable.
There's a red thingy moving toward the green thingy. What? Red thingy moving toward the green thingy.
Featuring stellar comedic performances from the likes of Sam Rockwell, Alan Rickman, Tony Shalhoub, sci-fi mainstay Sigourney Weaver, and many others. This quest is one that will enthrall almost any audience.
Never give up, never surrender.
Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Where are we going? Planet 10! And real soon!
Your pleasure.
It's not fair! You need me! Come back! Come back! Don't leave me alone!
After several hours, Joe finally gave up on logic and reason and simply told the cabinet that he could talk to plants and that they wanted water.
Number 1, Spaceballs.
I can't breathe in this thing!
Mel Brooks is such a respected comedic writer and director that when he set out to spoof the Star Wars franchise, he actually received permission from George Lucas to do so.
No way!
And the result was an absolute comedy classic. By keeping the story as close to the original as possible, with references to several other sci-fi standards,
Oh no, not again!
he ensures that the affection audiences had already developed for their favorite characters resonated.
You heard of me? Heard of you? Who hasn't heard of yogurt?
By then twisting all of the elements we know and love in brilliant ways, Spaceballs became our pick for best sci-fi comedy ever.
Will you marry me?
Well, let me think about it. Yes.
Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite sci-fi comedy? For more galactic top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss, my wine. Baby, my heart's